Trump passed a dire warning to the Americans. He said, "I perceive dark days ahead if Joe Biden is re-elected. Please stay tuned and watch till the end. Before we proceed, please take a moment and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell for updates. Thanks." Former President Donald Trump delivered a dramatic address at the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC, wherein he issued a dire warning regarding the potential consequences of a second term for President Joe Biden. With the fervor and intensity characteristic of his rhetoric, Trump painted a black picture of what he believes lies ahead for the United States if Biden were to be re-elected, as reported by the Epoch Times on Monday, February 26, 2024. The ominous tone of his message reverberated through the crowded convention hall, leaving attendees and viewers alike on edge as they contemplated the implications of Trump's prophecy. Trump's speech at CPAC served as a rallying cry for his supporters, many of whom remain deeply disillusioned with the current administration's policies and direction. With characteristic flair, Trump lambasted Biden's leadership, casting him as an ineffectual and incompetent steward of the nation's affairs. He warned of dire consequences should Biden be given another 4 years in the Oval Office, painting a picture of a country in decline, beset by crises on all fronts. Central to Trump's warning was his assertion that a second Biden term would spell disaster for America's economy, national security, and global standing. He pointed to what he perceives as the administration's mishandling of key issues, including inflation, border security, and foreign policy, as evidence of its incompetence and inability to govern effectively. Trump's dire predictions struck a chord with his audience, many of whom share his concerns about the trajectory of the nation under Democratic leadership. One of the key themes of Trump's address was his critique of Biden's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Trump accused the administration of perpetuating fear and division, arguing that its response to the crisis had been marked by confusion and inconsistency. He touted his own administration's efforts to develop and distribute vaccines, contrasting them with what he portrayed as Biden's failures in managing the pandemic response. Trump's warning about the potential consequences of a second Biden term resonated with many Americans who remain frustrated with ongoing restrictions and disruptions to daily life. In addition to his critique of Biden's domestic policies, Trump also sounded the alarm about the administration's approach to foreign affairs. He accused Biden of weakening America's position on the world stage, citing what he perceives as the administration's failure to stand up to adversaries such as China and Russia. Trump warned that a second term for Biden would embolden America's enemies and undermine its alliances, leaving the nation vulnerable to external threats. Perhaps most ominously, Trump warned of the erosion of America's fundamental freedoms and values under Democratic leadership. He painted a stark picture of a country in which censorship, political correctness, and cancel culture reign supreme, stifling dissent and undermining the principles of free speech and individual liberty. Trump's warning struck a chord with his supporters, many of whom view the preservation of American values as paramount in the face of perceived threats from the left. As Trump concluded his speech at CPAC, the sense of urgency and foreboding was palpable in the room. His dire warnings about the potential consequences of Biden's second term shocked many in attendance, forcing them to confront the sobering reality of what the future holds. We don't yet know whether Trump's prophecy will come true, but one thing is clear. As the country prepares to chart its course for the next few years, the stakes could not be high. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to comment. Thanks.